Hello, I'm Aaron Park, and this is 7th grade, lesson 25. So for our first problem, we see that Marcia bought 6p kilograms of apples and put them in 2 bags of equal weight. The expression 6p divided by 2 kilograms represents the weight of 1 bag. Which of the following expressions also represents the weight of 1 bag? So this is a simple, straightforward simplification. 6p over 2, you'll see that 6 and 2 divide as such to get 3p. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and the p stays the same. Our final answer is 3p. Alternatively, if you want to process it a different way, you note that 6p is the original weight, and it is being split in half to be put into 2 bags. So half of 6p, which is what this other equation is saying, is of course 3p. Now, which expression is equivalent to the expression below? 0.4 times 8k. Again, this is a simple simplification question where we simply multiply. Now, we can rewrite this expression as 0.4 times 8 times k and focus on these numbers. 0.4 times 8 is, of course, 3.2, and the k remains the same. So the answer is B. If you are unfamiliar with multiplying by decimals, it is just the same as multiplying by numbers with one added step in it after. 4 times 8 is 32, and this extra strip now comes in. Note that there's one decimal point, right? And there's one digit after the decimal point. So, while normally the decimal point will be here, making 32, we move it left for every decimal point, or every decimal digit, I guess you could say, in the original two numbers. Right now there's only one, the 10th place of 4, so we move it right or left once. The decimal point is now here, so the number is 3.2, as seen in our answers. Ryan had tea toys in the store. He sold 3/4 of tea toys. The expression t minus 3/4 t represents the number of toys left in the store. Which of the following expressions also represents the number of toys left in the store? Hopefully, you're able to solve this fairly quickly. If not, this is again simplification with variables. This is the expression we are given. Just like multiplying fractions, subtracting fractions, we can convert our coefficients, the invisible one here, don't forget about it, into the same common denominator. Here that would be 4, because 1 is simply 4 over 4, t minus 3 over 4, t. We basically ignore the t's for now. Just write it here off to the side and focus on the fractions, the coefficients. 4 over 4 minus 3 over 4 is, of course, 1 over 4. And that is our final answer. 1 over 4t, also known as t over 4. The reason these two are the same, t over 4 is the same as 1/4 t, is because this t is technically a fraction as well. It's just over 1. And now you have a fraction times a fraction. The numerator is multiplied, the denominator is multiplied, but two of them are 1, which is why it simplifies and stays pretty much the same. You're just moving the t to the numerator. Now, on 4, a bottle of soda contains b liters of liquid. The expression 8 times 6b shows the amount of liquid in 8 six-packs. Which expression also represents the amount of liquid in 8 six-packs? Again, we simplify. A number next to a parentheses is the same as multiplication. It's like an invisible times right here. And then focus on the numbers. You can write it out as I did up here, but hopefully it isn't necessary and you can just think through it. 8 times 6 is 48, and the b stays the same. The answer is C. Now, which expression is equivalent to the expression below? I'll leave this to you as it is similar to a previous problem. The problem number 1 in the format and number 2 in the way the question is written. And then number 6 is another word problem that I'll also leave for you. Going to the next part, we now need to solve linear systems. Systems of equations are very important. We'll be using substitution to solve. In substitution, we basically need to substitute one variable into the other equation. Here, we have two choices. Both x and y have been isolated for us, which means we can either plug this y right here as such, or you can do the reverse. You can plug this x into the x. I will show both methods. The first way, x equals 17 minus 4, and in this y's part, rewrite the entire expression here, x minus 2, in parentheses. Now, we simplify. We distribute the negative 4. Make sure to keep the sign. So this isn't negative 8. This is not minus 8. This is plus 8, because the sign comes along. Minus 4 times minus 2 is plus 8. And then we get that x is equal to negative 4x. Whoops. Let me actually do this all in one step. We'll move this negative 4x to the other side, getting 5x. And at the same time, we'll combine these two numbers, getting 25. If that was too much for you, you can do it one step at a time. But basically what I did was move this over by adding plus 4x to the both sides, and then combine these two underlined numbers to get 25. Now we divide by the coefficient to isolate x, and we get x equals 5. But we aren't done yet. It is a linear system, two equations, two variables. As such, we need to solve for y as well. So we plug this x value into our original equation. Either one works. I'll be picking the second one because it is simply easier. Y equals, instead of x, we write 5 minus 2 equals 3. And that would be our final answer. X equals 5, y equals 3. Now I'll shortly be showing the other method of doing this, which is basically plugging it in the other way. Instead of plugging y in at the beginning, we plug in x. So y equals, instead of x, we plug in 17 minus 4y, because that's what x is, minus 2. Just like before, move the y over and combine. 5y is equal to 15. Divide both sides to isolate the variable. Y is equal to 3. That's the same number as before, which is a very good sign. And now we plug in to solve. I'll once again be using the second equation. As it's easier, we add 2 to both sides to get x equals 5, just like before. So both methods work. You can pick whatever makes more sense to you. With that out of the way, let's try a harder problem. I'll be doing this last one here. In this case, there isn't a variable that has been neatly isolated for us at the beginning. But that's okay, we can do it ourselves. We have two options. I'll be picking the first one, which is isolate the variable in this first equation. So 2x equals 12. Luckily, this is very simple. You simply need to remove the coefficient to get x by itself, so you get x is equal to 6. Now we can plug into the second equation, so we get 6 minus 5y is equal to negative 29. Subtract 6 from both sides to get minus 5y equals minus 35. Divide by the coefficient, which is negative 5. And we get y is equal to 7. Now we have our answer. That is all for today's lesson. I hope it made sense. Thank you.